with Master Gio. Tuwing Sabado dito lang sa Cool FM. Ang lahat ng drama, ang lahat ng tawanan, musika at anong paman. Magkakasama pa rin tayo mga kalamaw. Sa lungkot at ligaya, kami pa rin ang iyong paboritong tambayan. Broadcasting live from TVH Group of Networks. Ang iyong hipilan, ang iyong tahanan. Number 1 sa Mega Manila. You are listening to Cool FM. Live from Cool Studios. This is koolNews at 4.
Good afternoon, Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao. It is now 4:01 p.m. and this is koolNews at 4. You are listening right on Cool FM Nationwide and also on News Radio 93.1. Let's begin with the first headline as a hefty oil price hike is set starting Tuesday, November 12, that is in fact tomorrow, with diesel costs surging by 2.10 pesos a liter based on several advisories of petroleum companies. Oil, Petrogas, Shell Pilipinas, and Caltex also said the prices of gasoline and kerosene will rise by 1.50 pesos and 1.20 pesos per liter respectively. Rodela Romero, director of the Department of Energy's Oil Industry Management Bureau, said last week that oil prices had climbed due to Hurricane Rafael's impact on the U.S., which could dampen the region's output. She also noted the delayed plans of OPEC Plus made up of the organizations of the petroleum exporting countries and allies led by Russia to boost oil production next month. The energy official said the U.S. Federal Reserve's plan to impose another round of interest rate cuts also affected trading in the past 4 days. Other contributing factors in the estimated increase for oil prices by next week are the depreciation of the peso, the premium added to the purchase of the petroleum products, and the freight costs, she added. Last week, fuel retailers implemented mixed adjustments for the prices of all petroleum products, with only gasoline recording a rollback. The center of the Typhoon Nika was located in the vicinity of Lawagwe town in Ifugao province on Monday afternoon, the Bagasa said. Based on the 2 p.m. typhoon bulletin of the state weather agency, Nika was moving northwestward at 25 kilometers per hour and packing maximum sustained winds of 130 kilometers per hour with gusts of 250 kilometers per hour. Bagasa said Nika will gradually cross the Luzon region and weaken as it merges over the sea west of Ilocos by Monday late afternoon or evening. This tropical cyclone will weaken into a severe tropical storm while traversing mainland Luzon due to land interactions, the meteorologist explained. Nevertheless, Bagasa noted that regardless of the position of the center in the next several hours, it must be emphasized the hazards on land and coastal waters may still be experienced in areas outside the forecast confidence zone, or COE. So as of 11 a.m., here are the wind signals for number 4, 3, 2, and 1. For signal number 4, we have northernmost portion of Aurora, central and southern portions of Isabela, Kalinga, Northern Province, northern portion of Ifugao, central and southern portion of Abra, northern and central portions of Ilocos. For signal number 3, the central portion of Aurora, northern portion of Quirino, northeastern portion of Nueva Vizcaya, the rest of Isabela, the southern portion of Cagayan, southern portion of Apayao, the rest of Abra, the rest of Ifugao, northern portion of Banguet, southern portion of Ilos Norte, the rest of Ilocos. For signal number 2, we have northwestern and eastern portions of Cagayan, the rest of Nueva Vizcaya, the rest of Quirino, the rest of Apayao, the rest of Banguet, the rest of Ilos Norte, La Union, northeastern portion of Pangasinan, central portion of Aurora, northern portion of Nueva Ecija. And for signal number 1, we have Babuyan Islands, the rest of mainland Cagayan, the rest of Pangasinan, the rest of Aurora, the rest of Nueva Ecija, Bulacan, Pampanga, Tarlac, northern and central portions of Zambales, Metro Manila, Rizal, eastern portion of Laguna, and northern and eastern portions of Quezon. Vice President Sara Duterte's chief of staff undersecretary Lulaika Lopez was given a last chance to skip the congressional probe into the alleged misuse of public funds in the office of the vice president. During the hearing of the House Committee on Good Government and Public Accountability on Monday, lawmakers agreed to exclude Lopez from the list of OP officials who were cited for contempt for not showing up at the inquiry despite summons. Lopez informed the House panel through a letter that she would not be able to attend the hearing due to a medical emergency involving her sick aunt in the United States. The committee acknowledged her excuse for humanitarian reasons. Deputy Speaker David Surares, who moved the site for of OVP officials for contempt, said he agrees with Santa Rosa City Representative Dan Fernandez's belief that Lopez's presence and testimony would be crucial to the investigation. He said extending some understanding to Lopez would not hurt. Actually, I'm also one with the position of Congressman Fernandez, given that the committee has already exercised patience and understanding in these resource persons. I mean, let us not forget, Mr. Chair, that these are public officials. They are required to attend to explain how funds were spent, Suarez said. However, in the same way, Mr. Chair, when I was reading the letter of Attorney Lulaika Lopez, the reason for her absence that she mentioned was an appeal of her aunt to accompany her while she was hospitalized in another country. And because we all have families, because of humanitarian reasons, and maybe we can extend a bit more our understanding, he added. Suarez, however, stressed that the consideration of Lopez's absence will last only until before the next House committee hearing. We can accept the letter of Attorney Lulaika Lopez, but only until our next committee hearing, Mr. Chair. I am a reasonable person, but of course there are limits. But if an individual is facing a reason that she cannot avoid for now, maybe she would no longer have any reason why she would not attend the next hearing, Lord Suarez noted. Fernandez, meanwhile, still questioned the consideration given to Lopez, asking whether she is the only remaining relative of her aunt. As much as I wanted to believe her excuse, no. But I think her aunt that is living in the United States can possibly send on her own, especially considering the healthcare system of the United States. And the testimony of Ms. Lulaika Lopez is so crucial in this investigation. And if we're going to allow this excuse of her, then other resource persons might follow, Fernandez said. Because I find this document from Lopez funny. Is she the only niece of her aunt? Does she have no other nephew or niece to attend to her? No supposed to assent because we are tackling so many issues about her? And this is a clear evasion. This letter is not justified, he also said. Earlier, Suarez moved to cite for contempt for the following OVP officials. Lumanuel Ardonio, who is the Assistant Chief of Staff and Chair of the Bids and Awards Committee. Gina Acosta, who is the Special Dispersing Officer, Sunshine Farjada, who is the former Department of Education Assistant Secretary, and Edward Farjada, who is a former DepEd official. Anti-Polo Second District Representative Romeo Acob then moved to issue a detention order against the board, with the period of detention lasting until the committee finalizes its report. This is not the first time that Lopez and the other OVP officials were mentioned during the committee hearings. A roll-on, roll-off passenger ship ran aground in the waters of Lobon on Monday morning, the Philippine Coast Guard reported. All passengers were safely transferred to Lobon port except for a dialysis patient and his companion, since he needed access to his dialysis equipment, which was in his vehicle on the vessel, the PCG Romblon station said in the Facebook post. The PCG said the 156 passengers of MV Maria Olivia, which is operated by Montenegro Shipping Lines, were turned over to the Municipal Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Office in Romblon Town for further assistance. All are in good physical condition, the PCG said. MV Maria Olivia departed from San Agustin Port with 38 crew members, including the vessel's master, and 26 wheel cargoes and sailed toward Romblon Port. The PCG received the report of the grounding incident, but the exact time was not specified and immediately dispatched a rigged hull inflatable boat to assist the provincial government speedboat and the rescue boat to assist in the rescue of passengers. No oil spill happened observed, the PCG said. The PCG Romblon continues to monitor the grounded vessel position. And detained Pastor Apollo Kibuloy has been rushed to the hospital due to irregular heartbeat, the Philippine National Police said on Monday. PNP spokesperson Colonel Joan Farjado said Kibuloy was rushed to the Philippine Heart Center. Fortunato said Kibuloy had chest discomfort last November 7, which prompted PNP General Hospital to conduct a medical examination on the Amparo pastor. The medical examination conducted by the health service revealed that he has an irregular heartbeat that may be considered as life-threatening, Fortunato said in the press conference in Camp Kermit. Kibuloy was brought to the Heart Center on Friday, November 9, and was expected to leave on Monday. However, Fortunato said the Pasig Regional Trial Court extended Kibuloy's medical forthrow until November 16, 5 p.m. It is now 4:10 p.m. and we will return with more headlines, particularly the international headlines, along with the showbiz right here on koolNews at 4. We will be right back.
This koolNews edition was brought to you by Your Ace Supermarket, ang budget-friendly supermarket ng Pilipinas. Now in 6,900 locations around the Philippines and Southeast Asia. MX3 Natural Supplements, verified with alpha, beta, and gamma mangosteen. MX3, tunay, natural at original. Rexona, ang deo lotion ng bayan. Say no to asthma emergencies. Fuji Denso Home and Commercial Appliances, where you get reliable, durable, and energy-saving products. Upgrade your usual appliances of Fuji Denso HV inverter appliances. Fuji Denso, quality above all. Unique toothpaste, Maxalaga with maximum fluoride protection. Manufactured by ACS Manufacturing Corporation. ISO certified world-class quality. ACS. And Smart Dishwashing Paste, double tanggaling formula against sebo and bacteria. Smart Dishwashing Paste, a product of ACS Manufacturing Corporation. ISO certified world-class quality. ACS. You're listening to Cool FM.
#1 sa Mega Manila.
Nationwide ba?
Intra na sa Great Taste Greatest Panalo Raffle Promo para sa chance ka magdaog sa over 3 million pesos worth of cash prizes. Magbaka sa Great Taste Premium Classic at Great Taste White Classic. Magtipon sa mga empty packs kang ihulog ang mga entries sa Dropbox in select stores. Gani, ano pag ginakulat nyo? Intra na! See posters for details. Promo runs from November 1, 2024 to February 28, 2025. DOH FDA CFRR permit number 1115 series of 2024.
Hirap magpahinga? May mga gamot para dyan, pero relax. Mag-Efficacent Oil. Sa unang amoy at hagod, ramdam ang ginhawa na trusted by all. Unahin ang trusted ginhawa. Unahin ang Efficacent.
Methyl salicylate plus menthol plus camphor is a generic name of Efficacent oil. If symptoms persist, consult your doctor.
Protection
Yakult!
with 8 billion live LCS
Yakult!
that may reach the intestines alive.
Yakult!
Helps improve digestion and boost immunity.
Yakult!
With proper diet and exercise,
Yakult!
kaya panalo ka dyan.
Pag in the mood for beach, time for Dunkin' Iced Spanish Latte.
Pag sweater weather, time for Dunkin' Brewed Coffee.
Pag nagkayaya ang magbike, time for Dunkin' Iced Americano.
Anytime is Dunkin' Coffee time. My hot and iced coffee for any moment, any vibe, anytime. Eh, ikaw, time for Dunkin' Coffee, hot or iced.
Land Bank is transforming to serve the nation better. Sa digital innovations, mas napabubuti ang inyong pagbabangko saan man kayo 24/7. We bring financial services and solutions to the unbanked and underserved. Naniniwala ang Land Bank na ang bawat Pilipino ay maaaring mamuhay ng matiwasay at magtagumpay. Together we build a brighter future, from countryside to countrywide. Your future, powered by Land Bank. Land Bank is regulated by the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas and a member of PDIC and BancNet.
Paano ka mag-online shopping ngayon? Bayad muna bago bukas parcel? Online shopping with ShopSafe. Bukas parcel bago bayad. Introducing M. Lulier's newest iwas scam service, ShopSafe. ShopSafe is an online escrow service which connects buyers and sellers safely online on Facebook Marketplace, Instagram, and Carousel. Magaan ng online shopping with ShopSafe. Download the Mcash app now or visit mlulier.com to learn more about it. Shop smart. Sell safe with ShopSafe.
Welcome Christmas home with holiday cheer. Head to SM Home and shop from our merry selection of delightful decor. From classic Christmas trees to sparkly ornaments, we've got what you need this holiday season at SM Home.
Kahit always blooming bango sa Surf Fam.
New Surf Fountain
fresh and bloom. May 3 times amoy pawis shield. Kaya, based on lactase and select fabric versus detergent powder only. Surf!
May bagong energy na! All new Best Ever Enervon, Enervon C+. Powered with zinc, vitamin C, vitamins B1, 2, 3, 5, 6, and 12, at vitamin E. All new Best Ever Enervon. Hey! Enervon C+.
Unilab yan.
Multivitamins plus zinc is the generic name of Enervon Z+. If symptoms persist, consult your doctor.
Worried about ponytail dents, tangles, and frizz? Use Sunsilk Smooth and Manageable every day for 5 times smoother, fragrant hair versus non-conditioning shampoo. Para
Yay! Konti na lang! Tapos na tong school project ko! Today pala deadline nito!
Lagot!
Bakit nga ba ako pumasok dito sa kusina?
Ano nga ba kukunin ko?
Nako po!
Incorrect password? Ano nga ba yung password ko?
Ano nga ba? Memo Plus Gold with the Copa Monnieri Extract. Iba ang Brainy Good.
Mahalagang paalala, ang Memo Plus Gold ay hindi gamot at hindi maaaring gamitin panggamot sa anumang uri ng sakit.
1, 2, 3. Ano ba yan? Ang daming insects. Gastos na naman sa dami ng insecticide spray na kakailanganin.
Don't worry, Mommy. With Vigon Shield Protector Multi-Insect Killer, 0 lang ang mahalaga.
Zero ba? Dahil ligwak ang mga insekto. Zero harm. Safe ang buong family mo. Zero chances of pest disease. Kaya bato lang products mo.
With Vigon Shield Protector Multi-Insect Killer, hindi lang 7, hindi lang 8, kundi 11 insects ang kayang patayin nito.
Zero tolerance sa mga insekto.
Vigon Shield Protector!
Multi-insect killer.
Magpapasko na! Huwag manghihina! Lumalabas sa survey na prone ang prostate cancer sa mga edad 40 pataas sa kalalakihan. Para maiwasan, mag-Markup Capsule Food Supplement. Ito ay may macarot extract at hornigold upang maibalik ang tikas at lakas. Mag-Markup Capsule Food Supplement araw-araw para always kang ready. Ito ay hatid sa inyo ng Jmar Herbs Incorporated. Kasangga, maligayang Pasko at manigong bagong taon. Ang Markup Capsule Food Supplement ay mabibili na sa inyong suking butika at drug stores dito mismo sa ating lugar.
Mahalagang paalala, ang Markup Food Supplement Capsule ay hindi gamot at hindi maaaring gamitin panggamot sa anumang uri ng sakit.
Nay, dalir good nay na ako'y kapsul na iba nga lami kini siya nay. Nindot kini para sa imong maintenance nay.
Unsa man na Magnum C nga kapsul?
Dili nay lahi ni siya nay. Epektibo pagid kaayo ni nga kapsula nay.
Dili ko ana. Magnum C ra jud ako ang kapsul. Ug paimnon ko nimo ana, di na taka ilhon nga apo. Maunang Magnum C ra jud ako. Kasabot ka?
Di na yun mapugngan ang pagsalig sa katawhan sa Magnum C. The most trusted by seniors. Laging healthy sa Magnum C.
Discover one by one, Pinas nagiganda. Ano man ang trip, sigurado worth the trip. Isa-isahin na. Discover one by one, let's fly everyone.
You're listening to Cool FM.
Number 1 sa Mega Manila.
Nationwide pa!
Welcome back. On to the international headlines now. A complex international 2-week-long game of climate change poker is convening. The stakes, just the fate of an ever-warming world. Curbing and coping with climate change, worsening heat, floods, droughts, and storms will cost trillions of dollars, and poor nations just don't have it, numerous reports and experts calculate. As United Nations climate negotiations started Monday in Baku, Azerbaijan, the chief issue is who must end up to help poor nations, and especially how much. The numbers are enormous. The floor in negotiations is the $100 billion a year that poor nations, based on the categorization made in the 1990s, now get as part of a 2009 agreement that was barely met. Several experts and poorer nations say the need is $1 trillion a year or more. It's a game with high stakes, said climate analyst CEO Bill Harr, a physicist. Right now, the fate of the planet depends very much on what we're able to pull off in the next 5 or 10 years. But this year's talks, known as COP29, won't be as high profile as last year's, with 48 fewer heads of state scheduled to speak. The leaders of the two carbon polluting countries, China and the United States, will be absent. But if money negotiations fail in Baku, it will handicap 2025's make or break climate negotiations, experts say. Not only is dealing with money always a touchy subject, but two of the rich countries that are expected to donate money to poor nations, the United States and Germany, are in the midst of dramatic government changes. Even though the United States delegation will be from Biden administration, the re-election of Donald Trump, who downplays climate change and dislikes foreign aid, makes U.S. pledges unlikely to be fulfilled. The overarching issue is climate finance. Without it, experts say the world can't get a handle on fighting warming, nor can most of the nations achieve their current carbon pollution cutting goals or the new ones they will submit next year. If we don't solve the finance problem, then definitely we will not solve the climate problem, said former Colombian Deputy Climate Minister Pablo Vieira, who heads the support unit and at NDC partnership, which helps nations with emissions cutting goals. Nations can't cut carbon pollution if they can't afford to eliminate coal, oil and gas, Vera and several other experts said. Poor nations are frustrated that they are being told to do more to fight climate change when they cannot afford it, he said. And the 47 poorest nations only created 4% of the heat-trapping gases in the air, according to the UN. About 77% of the heat-trapping gas in the atmosphere now comes from the G20 rich nations, many of whom are now cutting back on their pollution, something that is not happening in most poor nations or China. The countries that are rich today have become rich by polluting the earth, said Annie Dasgupta, president of World Resource Institute. The money being discussed is for three things: helping poor nations switch from dirty fossil oil fuels to clean energy, helping them adapt to the impacts of a warming world such as sea level rise and worsening storms, and compensating vulnerable poor nations for climate change damage. Should the global community fail to reach our finest goal, this is really just signing the death warrant of many developing countries, said Mary J. Okirike, director of the Center for Climate Change and Development in Nigeria. Michael Wickens, a business professor who heads Imperial College Center for Climate Finance and Investment in the UK, said since 2022, total climate finance has been nearly $1.5 trillion, but only 3% of that is actually geared towards the least developed countries, he said. The global south has been repeatedly let down by unmet pledges and commitments, said Sunita Narayan, Director General of New Delhi-based Center for Science and Development. Finance is really the key component that compels all types of climate action, said Bahamian climate scientist Adele Thomas, Adoption Director at the National Resource Defense Council. Without that finance, there's simply not much that developing countries in particular can do. It's an issue of both interest and self-interest and justice, Thomas and others said. It's not charity to help poor nations decarbonize because rich nations benefit when all countries cut emissions. After all, a warming world hurts everyone. Compensating for climate damage and helping nations prepare for future harm is a matter of justice, Thomas said, even though they didn't create the problem. Poor nations, especially small island nations, are particularly vulnerable to climate change, rising seas, and extreme weather. Thomas mentioned how 2019's Hurricane Dorian smacked her grandparents' home and the only thing left standing was one toilet. The $1 trillion figure on the table is about half of what the world spends annually on the military. Others say global fossil fuel subsidies could be redirected to climate finance. Estimates of those subsidies range from the International Energy Agency's $616 billion a year to the International Monetary Fund's $7 trillion a year. When we need more for other things, including conflict, we seem to find it, United Nations Environment Program Executive Director Inger Andersen said. Well, this is probably the largest conflict of all. A UN Climate Finance Committee report looked at the need from 98 countries and estimated it as ranging from $455 billion to $584 billion per year. The money isn't just from direct government aid from one nation to another. Some of it comes from multinational development finance banks like the World Bank. There's also private investment that will be considered a large chunk. Developing nations are seeking relief from their $29 trillion global debt. Anderson said at least a six-fold increase in investment would be required to get on the path to limit future warming to just another 0.2 of a degree Celsius or 0.4 degrees Fahrenheit from now, which is the overarching goal the world adopted in 2015. Anderson's agency calculated that with nations' current emissions curbing targets, the difference between well-financed and current efforts translates to half a degree Celsius or 0.9 degrees Fahrenheit less future warming. Experts say step-up efforts that could reduce future warming even more also causes more. Who will pay is another sticking point. Climate talks for decades have used 1992 standards to categorize two groups of nations, essentially rich and poor, deciding that rich nations like the US are the ones to financially help poor ones. Financial circumstances have changed. China, the world's top carbon polluter, has increased its per capita GDP by more than 30 times since then. But neither China nor some rich oil nations are obligated to help in climate finance. Developed nations want those countries that couldn't afford to give before but now can, included in the next round of dollars. But those nations don't want those obligations, said E3G analyst Alden Meyer, a climate negotiations veteran. It's a very fraught landscape to think about each scale up of existing climate finance, Meyer said. And a man was crushed to death by a fan blade of a wind turbine being built at one of Australia's largest wind farms, police said Monday. He had been working at the Golden Plains site about 130 kilometers or 80 miles west of Melbourne, a project which bills itself as Australia's largest wind farm. Police said the man was working at the wind farm when he was crushed beneath a fan blade. The mammoth fan blades used on industrial wind turbines can weigh as much as 200 tons and measure more than 600 meters or 200 feet in length. Images from local media showed a tractor attempting to lift the tip of a fan blade, which appeared to have toppled off a metal brace. The state's workplace safety watchdog said it was investigating the incident. And finally, onto showbiz, there is no stopping Beanie from reaching another milestone as the P-pop powerhouse bagged the Best Asia Act poem at the MTV Europe Music Awards 2024. Beanie, composed of Joanna, Aya, Colette, Maloy, Gwen, Stacy, Mika, and Sheena, edged out fellow nominees Elite, Sakura Saka 46, Malalini, and Masto to win the award as announced by MTV MEA's X for Twitter page on Monday, November 11. The post read is official. At Beanie_PH has taken the hashtag MTV EMA's Best Asia Act Award for 2024. Show your love in the comments and let's keep the celebration going. While the group leaders Joanna thanked the awards giving body for the recognition, Mika hoped that it would pave the way for Filipino music to be recognized internationally. We hope that you can keep sharing our music with you and that it tells more about Filipino music, Mika said. The social media platforms of Beanie also expressed their gratitude for the award. Beanie wins Best Asia Act at this year's MTV EMA. This honor means the world to us, seeing Filipino music shine on the global stage. Maraming salamat po, the post read. In a separate post, the Go Group also thanked their supporters for believing in them. To our incredible supporters, thank you for voting and believing in us. You inspire us to keep our lifting Filipino talent, the post said. Ladies and gentlemen, it is now 4:29 p.m. and that is all for Cool News at 4. We will return at 6 p.m. for more news and headlines. You can also send us your suggestions, comments, and feedback at tvh.philippines.news@gmail.com. I am Cairo, and this is koolNews. We will see you later at 6 p.m. Take care and mabuhay. Good afternoon.